Can you all hear me?
Yes.
All right, that's good. So I'll start with saying Happy Independence Day, guys.
Happy Independence Day.
Thank you. Uh, Today I just want to talk about independence, freedom, and what's the real meaning of it. So, do you know how many type of governance do we have all around the world? We have got a political science student in there as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why are you sitting around? Just move.
So look, we have 15 type of governances all around the world. And what type of governance do we have in India? Is it democracy or is it republic?
In federal in form but unitarian spirit, it's a democracy.
Okay, all right. Now, when we got freedom, it took us almost a long time, a very very long time, to ultimately gain independence. But what was the reason that we actually opted for independence? What did independence mean to the people that existed? And why did they wanted India to be free? Is a question. What difference does it actually make if we are free? Because currently we have a government. Earlier we used to have a government, right? And we used to have departments. We used to have taxes. We used to have offices. Everything was there. But then why did we wanted freedom?
Because that's a government which is chosen by us, right? We elect that government. Earlier it was imposed upon us. We had no
Mhm.
choice. We had to forcefully listen to them. To whatever they should tell us, we had it was forced upon us. Right now we have the freedom to select whoever we want to rule us, right?
Okay. Suppose in India, if we didn't have a democracy, we had a government chosen by a selected set of people, like we have it in China. What difference would it actually make? The point is that there was a vision behind the struggle for the freedom. There were a lot of people who sacrificed a lot of things for this freedom and the independence. There were people who sacrificed their lives. The problem today is that we do not understand the meaning of freedom and independence really well. Of course, we have a change in the government. We can select our government. We can choose our government. We can give vote. Although 50% of people in India choose not to vote, but still we have got the power. We elect a government, and that government makes policies for us. But still, in a free country, basic things like the price of petrol, whether or not you will be able to drive your car tomorrow, is not determined by you. Whether or not you will have food to eat, or whether or not you will be able to afford things to buy, is not determined by you. And it's not only with India, it's with the whole world. Most of the major decisions that affect our life, which include basic things like our currency, our food, our petrol, is not determined by us. Whether or not you would be able to travel freely from one place to another is not determined by you. There are a specific set of people who actually create those policies, right? And I'm not talking anything political over here. I'm trying to get back to the actual meaning of independence and freedom. So we perceive that we got independence on 15th August 1947, right? And after that, we are free to do whatever we want to do. But that's not the vision that our leaders had in mind when they wanted freedom or independence. The meaning of freedom and independence is much larger than what we actually think. When we say freedom or when we say independence, freedom is ability to do what you want to do, in of course in under the legal constraints, ability to eat what you want to eat on the reasonable prices, ability to drive what you want to drive on reasonable prices, ability to purchase the commodities on the prices that you want, ability to live freely. And that all comes from a single thing, which is based on a very, very, very simple phenomena, which is called identity. What is your identity? So when India was fighting for its freedom, India was fighting for its identity. India was fighting so that it could make decision on its own. You see that there's a huge IT industry in India. This IT industry exists because India is able to ask the required amount, and India is able to quote in currencies which is not Indian. For example, if India was surrounded, if India was still under British control, it was all occupied by East India Company, then you would not have been able to trade uh, in other currencies. It means that if you were doing work and you were exporting it somewhere, they would have been paying you in rupees. Anyways, that's all technical stuff. But the thing that I want to convey over here is that still in the world, only 1% of people can actually sense what freedom is. Uzair, can you please mute the mic? I can't hear you guys properly. Yep, that's better. All right. So what happens is that only 1% of the people in the world are able to enjoy the actual freedom. And freedom is not only about political freedom, it's about the financial freedom, it's about the emotional freedom, it's about the freedom to trade, freedom to work, and freedom to live and play. And it all comes back to a single thing, which is identity. Now I'm emphasizing on identity. I'll explain what identity is. Identity is about who you are, right? Who is Uzair Khan? Who is he? How is he identified? Who is Bharat? What's his identity? There are millions and millions of people who exist in this world. How is Bharat identified? What's his identity? Why does he exist? What's his contribution to the world? How does he makes a difference to the world? And a person is identified by the work he do. There might be few people who think that sometimes you are identified by your parents, but it's the most unfortunate situation for a person if he is identified by his parents, right? If you are identified as a daughter or son of someone, or if you are identified as a brother of someone or a sister of someone, It's a question on your individuality, because every individual is special and every individual should have its own identity, and a person is identified by his own work. Why do you identify Sachin Tendulkar? Why do you identify Shah Rukh Khan? Why do you identify Steve Jobs? Because of the selfies that they used to post, or because of the Facebook statuses? No. A person is identified by the work he does and how much he excels into it. Sachin Tendulkar is identified because he was passionate about cricket. He used to play as a cricketer. Not only that, he was the best and one of the best cricketer. He spent his whole life, he dedicated his whole life, and he sacrificed a lot of other things. He sacrificed a lot of other freedoms to achieve one single freedom to do what he wanted to do and excel in it. And that's why he is identified. Why is Shah Rukh Khan identified? Because he had good grades in his graduation? No. Because he's the most handsome person in the world? No. Because he's the son or daughter of someone big? No. Because he did what he wanted to do and he performed his best. And it's not only that the cricketers or Bollywood superstars are identified. Why is Narendra Modi identified? Did he had any extra qualifications? Was he a scientist? Was he a good actor? No. Because he was involved in politics and he did his best. Why was Steve Jobs identified? So all these people were actually identified because they did what they wanted to do. And then they spent their life, they sacrificed a lot of things to excel in that particular thing. So what I want to convey to you is that if you want to achieve real freedom in your life, you can only and only achieve that until and unless you sacrifice all other things, because everything in the world has a cost. Everything, nothing comes for free. Everything is a cost. Even if you breathe, the air you breathe is not for free. You have to have energy for your lungs to operate. You have to eat food so that your lungs can operate and you can breathe. For that food, you have to pay. There's nothing in the world that comes for free. It has a cost. It has a direct cost or indirect cost. So freedom or independence has a cost. When India got independent, it had to pay a big cost. It had a lot of sacrifices, a lot of people involved, and they sacrificed their lives so that the next generation could gain independence, could be free. There was a cost. So if you ask me that whether you are free or not, I will say no, you are not free. You are in illusion that you are free. You are in illusion that you are independent. But you are still bounded by a lot of things. You know who's the Indian who is actually free? The new CEO of Google is actually free. APJ Abdul Kalam Azad, APJ Abdul Kalam, he was free. Mukesh Ambani, he was free. So he is free. Sorry, Dhirubhai Ambani was free. I won't say Mukesh Ambani or Anil Ambani was free. There are some certain reasons. Anyways, the point is, if you are identified Amitabh Bachchan is free. If you have an identity and if you have a reason to exist in the world, and if you make any difference to the world, no matter small or large, then you are free. Otherwise, you are in an illusion that you are free or independent. You still have to, no matter how much money do you have, you still have constraints. You might be financially free, but you might not be emotionally free. So you need to have an identity. And what constitutes of an identity is two things. Number one is your own identity. Number two is the identity of the organization that you are a part of. And when I say organization, your larger identity is that you are an Indian. Like my larger identity is that I'm an Indian. Everyone's uh, our other identities were when we were in school that we belong to a particular school. When you work with an organization, your identity is a part of this organization. But your identity is not limited to what organization you are part of. For example, there are so many Indians, right? Indians in India and Indians around the world. It's not enough to be an Indian, to be a part of free country. You need to have an identity in yourself. You need to move your country forward by your acts. Then you can have the true sense of the freedom. The freedom is that whenever, if you want to do something, if you think of something, if you want to do something, if you have a dream, if you have a passion, you can pursue it. You can achieve it. You can achieve whatever you want to do in life. The freedom is about thinking about something and getting it done. And how do you achieve that freedom? Well, you do not achieve that freedom by sitting idle. You do not achieve that freedom by coming to office at 9, doing a bit of work and going back 5. No. You achieve that by giving sacrifices. How did these people achieve this freedom? Were they extraordinary? No. They were not extraordinary. They were very, very, very common, simple people, right? Were they intelligent? They had some of them were intelligent, some of them were not. Were they very rich? No. Did they had a very good education? No. Did they had a very good facility? Did they have very good facilities? No. Were they born in a specific country? No. They sacrificed a lot of things to be at the position where they could actually sense the real meaning of freedom. And they did it by having a passion for something and then going for it with complete persistence and dedication. So what I want to tell you today is that if you are doing something, so if you are into social media marketing, or if you are into search engine optimization, if you are into human resource management, there are thousands and thousands, and not only thousands, there are millions of people who are doing search engine optimization. There are millions of people who are doing human resource management. How do you identify yourself is the question. Like, do you want to be in the rest of the crowd? Do you want to be in those 99% who wake up every morning, do some work, and then sleep in the night without adding any tangible value to the society, without sensing that real sense of freedom? So if you want to be a search engine optimization person or a human resource management person or a marketing person or a PR person, then you need to be the best in your niche. Now it's very difficult to be best in everything. So what I advise you is find your niche. And what is niche? That one single particular thing where you are the best, where there's no one in the world who can do that particular thing better than you. And that's not difficult. It's not it's not something unachievable. It's not that if you haven't spent your 20, if you have wasted 20 years of your life or 25 years of your life not doing it, you can't do it. No. You just need 2 years of focus, persistence, and determination to reach to that particular point. And I will tell you how that freedom looks like. When you reach to that particular point, then you can demand anything that you want to, almost absolutely anything. So when Apple approached Steve Jobs again to become CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs said, no, what I, if I will come to office, I want a private jet of my own to travel to office. If I'll come to office, I want a private jet for my family to travel around the world. I want shares out of the Apple. I want shares out of the different products that Apple is rolling out. And there was a huge amount of list that he proposed. Now, when you apply for a job now, how much can you negotiate? You can negotiate for a few thousands in your salaries. That's it. Maybe the work times. That's it. Right. When a person achieves independence or freedom, he can negotiate on almost and absolutely everything. If I'll come to the office, I need a car, I need a driver, I need I need these facilities. If I'll come to the office, I won't come to a I don't like working in a 20 by 20 square feet office. Right? I want my space. I want my space my way. I don't like these colors. And you achieve that by excelling in what you do. And there are examples of the people who have actually achieved that. And the things are at their disposal. If they ask for something, they get it. And it's not impossible. It's not something very difficult to achieve. It's not something that only extraordinary people can achieve. There's nothing called extraordinary. There's nothing like extraordinary. Only efforts and dedication are extraordinary. People are very ordinary, very, 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 very ordinary. And I'm telling you, and if you do not believe me, write it today, set up reminder somewhere, and check after 2 years. The people sitting beside you, have a look at them. In 2 years, you will meet someone sitting beside you who would be owning a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, who would be having a Z level security, who would be having all things that a person can get, who would have financial independence, emotional independence, who will have every kind of independence and freedom they want. And you know how will they get it? They won't get it because they were very extraordinary people. They were very intelligent. No. They were very studious. No. They will get it. And you will see them in next 2 years. They will get it because they sacrificed everything to be persistent and determined and achieved what they were doing. They would be sitting doing search engine optimization in your organization, right? Every IT company in India have got search engine optimization people. They would be doing the same work, but in a different way. They would be sitting, doing search engine optimization in your organization, and you will see them grow tremendously in next 2 years. And you won't believe that this guy or this girl who was doing human resource management in my company, or PR, or social media marketing, or development in my organization 2 years ago, is now on the front page of large magazines, is now interviewed by international presses. And they won't do something ridiculous or extraordinary, but they will put their lives and efforts with complete persistence and determination and how hard and smart work to achieve that. And I'm not saying that just like that to motivate you, something like that. I have proved that. I have seen people doing that. I have learned from them. I have been with them. I just had a meeting with some guys who came from United States. They have got 30% share in Google, 40% share in Snapchat, and 25% share in WhatsApp. And those guys were 35 years old. They were not extraordinary guys. They were from a very, very ordinary background. So I meet these kind of people regularly. And I have been through what you are facing today. So my background was very, very humble, right? I've eaten, I've been to the same places as you have, whether it's Connaught Place, whether it's Old Delhi, whether it's Rajouri, whatever it is, yeah. I've been through all those places. I spent my childhood in there. But I have proved that people who think that reaching up to that level of freedom and that level of success and that level of excellence is difficult, they are wrong. They are absolutely, absolutely, absolutely wrong about it. You can achieve that in 2 years. You can be on the front page of newspapers. You can be on TV interviews. You can have all the money that you want in your life, all the freedom that you want in your life. You can have appointments with prime ministers and chief ministers and ambassadors. You can have regular meetings with the CEOs of top 500 fortune companies. You can get all that when you are young, even in your 20s. You don't have to go to your 30s. You can achieve all that. There's a proven method and track record. And you, my team of Enterprise Monkey, is a part of that experiment. And if you sign up to that thing, it's not gonna be easy. It would be the hardest, the most toughest phase of your life. You might have to sacrifice a lot of things. And you see the person sitting beside you, Uzair. He's in that partial process of independence and freedom, who gave up his job, his previous job, because he did not had that independence in his job. He is sacrificing a lot of things, his personal life, a lot of things. He's sacrificing everything to achieve that freedom. He has achieved that partially. He said to the previous HR, look, I don't report to anyone in this organization. And it's true. Virtually, he doesn't report to anyone. How many organizations have you seen where we have got people who do not report to anyone? He's not bound to come at a particular, although there is a specific time, right? He's not bounded by time. He doesn't even leave the office at that particular time. He's not asked what he's doing. Why is he doing it? Why is he hiring people? Why is spending money on things? He has achieved that freedom at a very minute level at this point of time. You see a person growing from a business development executive to the vice president of sales and marketing and actually doing that role. And that's what I want to do with everyone in my organization. I want you to escalate your level up to an extent that after 2 years, if and that's my challenge, and that's a unique challenge. If after 2 years, if you leave this job and you apply for a job, then you are competing with people who are not your age. You are competing with people who are 40 years, 45 years, 50 years. You would be competing with the people who have got 20 years of experience in their field. So after 2 years, if you leave Enterprise Monkey as search engine optimization person, or a social media marketing person, or a marketing person as an HR person, you would be at the level of the people who have spent 20 years in their organization. But if you have to reach that level, you need to work really shit hard for that. You need to spend almost all your energy to achieve that. And I have already said this a lot of time, but I like to repeat it again and again. If you want to be at that level, there's no magic, there is no no spell, nothing like that. It's a very simple thing. If you want to be at level, you would need it really badly. You should have that passion to achieve it, to excel at what you do at any cost, whether it costs you anything in the world, whether it costs you whatever, anything that you can think of. If you are able to put everything on the stake, I guarantee you that you are going to get success. And if you want this thing as badly as you want air, if I put your mouth, if I drown you in a tub of water, and you are trying to breathe and you are not able to breathe, if you can have that feeling, if you want something as badly as you want air, you are able to sacrifice anything and everything. You are able to sacrifice your sleep, your food, everything that's there. You will be able to achieve it. There's no other secret. And I don't want you to do it for me. I don't want you to do it for Enterprise Monkey. Look, I don't want you to effectively, I want you to effectively allocate only 6 hours for my organization. But I want a commitment for you that you would allocate another 12 hours in your day for your self-improvement and learning in whatever field you are working. I want you to elevate yourself. That's what I want. And if you think that you at least need 3 hours every day to watch TV and 8 hours every day to sleep and 4 hours every day to eat, and a normal human being needs it or something like that. No, that's not true. It really depends on you. It has been 3 years I didn't have lunch. Like, I didn't have a specific time for lunch. I always have lunch while I'm in meetings or while I'm working on something. I don't want you to do that, right? I'm just suggesting there are two ways. You can be the way you are, and even after this talk, I'm sure there would be a lot of people, even there would be 90% of people over here who would be the way they are. They are happy the way they are, and they will continue to be the way they are. But there would be 10% people among you who would actually rise to the occasion, who would actually follow it and sacrifice anything and everything and follow their passion and what they are doing with complete determination and persistence. Sorry about that. With complete persistence and determination, and they will be able to achieve it. And I, as your CEO, and not only as your CEO, but as your mentor and well wisher, I promise you that I'll provide you anything and everything that you need to elevate yourself. And what's my profit in this? Look, I'm into business not only to make money. I'm into business because I like doing it. I'm into business because I like working with people, working with excellent people, working with smart people. I like bringing change in the life. That's why I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I don't do it because it would allow me to make a lot of money or something like that. Of course, money is a part of it. Of course, I earn a lot of money through all these things. I get all the luxury in the world. That's fine. But I do it because I am passionate about it. I love it. I love what I do. I enjoy my life. I spend 18 hours, not 18 hours, 19, 20 hours every day in my work because I love it. I am happy. I'm satisfied. And I feel that freedom. So if someone tells you that success doesn't give you happiness or money doesn't give you happiness, that's true. Money doesn't give you happiness. But doing what you want to do and achieving it and being successful in it and pursuing it definitely gives you success and happiness. So I'll close with saying I'll finish my whatever speech, lecture, whatever it was, by saying Happy Independence Day to you guys. But what I expect is that when I meet you on the next Independence Day, you could actually feel the freedom that only 1% of people in the world can feel. Thank you. See you later. Bye bye.